Yo, every Wednesday night, you better tune in tight at 7 p.m. CST. We bring in that insight. Halas Hall Report, best podcast in the game. Stats and facts, you'll remember the name. Host Ken Dub got the knowledge on lock. Co-host Woody the Bear fan, talking all that talk. 3 Bear fans chilling, opinions on the side. We're here for the love, riding that Bear pride. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the skies. Lions think they're fierce with Dan Campbell's call, but all that greed ain't gonna help them at all. Same old story, we know how it goes. They just can't compete, everybody knows. Minnesota Vikings always talking smack, but when it's game day, they ain't got the knack. Sitting on the couch while we're making a stand. Over here in Chi-Town, we're the best in the land. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the skies. Packer fans yell blow pack blow, but can't see the truth. We're stealing the show. Rivalry heated, but we stay real cool. Halas Hall Report, yeah, that's the rule. With every episode, we build that hype. Stats and team news, we got the right type. Fan base strong, we ain't looking back. 2025, it's a winning attack. So gather round fans, put your hands in the air. Every Wednesday night, we're breathing that bear. Join the revolution, watch the magic unfold. Halas Hall Report, we're breaking the mold. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. So mark your calendars, don't miss a beat. Every Wednesday night, Halas Hall can't be beat. Stats, facts, team news on deck. Halas Hall Report, what did you expect? 2025, the Bears are here to stay. Blue and orange in the north, leading the way.
You guys hear me? All right. The video didn't play. So welcome to Halas Hall Report. I am your co-host today, and I'm with No Opinion and with my gentleman to the left. Ken, how are you? The
Good,
man,
brother. Good.
the legend, and the retired.
I don't know about the legend part. I know about the retired part, though, but doing good, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Me too. Thank you. Broski, welcome. Welcome. It's been the first Sunday in a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was here last Sunday, but yeah, it has been a while. I've been a little sporadic this year.
Oh, that's right. Penn State won yesterday. That's why he's on. Got it. And we got Mike, the producer, sharing some stuff. So have some football today. A little bit of war week with the Minnesota Vikings, who we play in Minnesota today. And we'll go through our predictions later. Not feeling too good about this game, but, you know, with the injuries that Minnesota has is a big one. We'll go over that.
He's been questionable.
I don't know. Might have relaying my prediction a little bit back and forth. Ken, what do you see today? I mean, what do you want to see?
Really today, I need to see more out of the defense. And there's some good news there. I mean, the defense is producing, but the bad news is it's not producing consistently and enough, especially in terms of quarterback pressure. We need to see that D line do more. You know, get to JJ McCarthy, flush him, hit him, sack him, make him make bad throws. Don't let him throw, to the soft spots in the zone, because that's where teams are beating the Bears in the zone defense.
Broski, how you feeling about today's game?
Woody, to me, this game's a tough one to call, man. To me, it's a coin flip. Like what Ken was touching on with the Bears defense, like first and foremost, I need to see them shut down Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, and then J.J. McCarthy when he runs. Have a feeling the Vikings are going to, really try to emphasize the run game while mixing in, taking their shots downfield. So I need to see the defense step up. And on offense, it would be really great if we got a running game going, because that's going to open up everything else. So expect it to be a close one today.
Opens up the play action, gives Caleb some time. We know how Brian Flores is with the Vikings. He's probably the number one defense pressure-wise in the league. But, Mike, the Bear fan, what are you thinking back there? He's in the bathroom.
So, one thing that Broski said, though, with the run defense. So here's an interesting thing about the Bears' run defense. Against the run, as in running backs, they've been really good the last couple of weeks. Against quarterbacks that run, that's where we get gashed for yards. So as far as Jones, who historically has had good games against the Bears, whether it be with the Packers or the Vikings, I'm not as scared about what he's going to do. It's if they let JJ get these little scampers for 5, 10, 15 at a pop. Because that's what hurts us. So the running game, we're good at shutting down running backs. It's the quarterback, which means we need to have a spy on McCarthy.
Yeah, Jackson Dart really killed us for 2 touchdowns last week, and his scramble got the fumble, then he got knocked out with a concussion. Yeah. I'd like to bring in the White. Just introduce yourself on the show and what team you like, or is it Jerry Garcia or Santa Claus? Which one is it?
Come on now, I'm the White.
It's Gandalf.
I'm the White. A lot of people know me as Dave. A lot of people know me as Wyatt. I'm a Bear fan since 1975, and I know Bears history like no one's business.
So, what do you think about today's game and why?
You know what? I'm confident in today's game. I'm only confident, and I know a lot of Bears fans. I know a lot of the fellow Bear fans in here are saying, "Oh, well, I don't know if I can trust this team." The reason why I'm so gung ho for this team is look at the differences between 24 and 25. It's huge. It's gigantic. Our offense across the board is a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story. And Caleb Williams, I wanted to inject this in my other show that I'm on, and I'll inject it here, dude. Caleb Williams is tied for the league lead in game-winning drives with 4. Last year, what did he do? 1. He won game-winning drive last year. He's got 4 this year. It's a whole nother story. And the other thing about it is Ben Johnson has us back as being a running team again. That's always been a Bears identity, is that we're a good rushing team. Ben Johnson finally has us back to that. And the other thing that's amazing that needs to be talked about is who thought the Bears would be this good offensively this fast?
Well, I understand the running is our Bears identity, but isn't really the identity would be defense? What's going on there?
That's the only thing. I was genuinely confused as to why we didn't go hard in free agency at edge or at defensive end. Why don't we acknowledge?
Well, no, it makes sense when you look at what was out there in the market and what resources were available. Because I'm not going to go spend $20 million on a year just to spend $20 million a year on an edge. And of course, welcome to Colin. We got a Vikings fan on the show today. Morning, Colin.
Good morning.
To what White was saying, though, it's like, look, Caleb with the comeback kid stuff, and we were talking about this Wednesday, how he's becoming a dark horse because of that in the MVP talk. Not that he's going to win the MVP, but these kinds of things start to make you a dark horse because a buzz becomes about you about being MVP when you're leading all these fourth quarter comebacks. That talks to leadership, how the team rallies behind you, etc. Hopefully today we don't have to see that. But today's going to be an interesting game, like Woody and Broski have said. Defensively, Colin, how are you feeling about the Vikings, your Vikings today against our Bears?
I mean, Jonathan Grenard being out is a very big loss for the Vikings. He's pretty much our biggest threat when it comes to rushing the passer. I think having Van Ginkel back is definitely not a bad thing. He's a really smart edge. He's a smart outside linebacker who's very good at anticipating things. I think our biggest problem, though, for the Vikings has been stopping the run. I think we did it really well 2 weeks ago against Detroit, surprisingly. And it's like when the Detroit game happened, like I thought we were going to get I thought we were going to get rolled for sure in that. But the fact that they went out there and they played with a lot of heart and they played with some courage, and JJ made some throws when he needed to. I mean, it's hard because I think a lot of people are writing him off. People are saying that JJ was a bust. And this will be his fifth start in the NFL. He's 2-2. He's won 2 road division games. And he's looked like a rookie quarterback against Baltimore. He looked like a rookie quarterback against the Chargers, and he got destroyed in the Atlanta game because the offensive line was completely banged up. So I would say, I think defensively, if you guys can run the ball against us with Monogamy, or I'm not going to be here anymore, whatever you want to call him. Whatever you want to call him. I mean, I know I like him, but I like him though. That's the thing. I do. I like him. I think he's been the key to your offense, to be totally honest with you, because I don't think you're quite getting it out of Loveland yet, but I think he has really stepped up to be that in between the tackles running back that you guys have really needed, and I think he's done really well.
So, Colin, to be fair on the J.J. McCarthy talk, this is what, week 11?
9
of his second season, and he's played only 5 games. So, I mean, you have to admit that some of the talk about him being a quote-unquote bust has to be about durability, because you're in year 2 of your career, and you've only played 5 games at this point. And I think that's where that talk comes from. And you look, that's probably fair, right? And I agree with you, though. He's making some rookie mistakes. He's making first-time starter mistakes. That's probably – I mean, technically he's a rookie, but it is the second season with the team. I think that's where some of that comes from. Whether that's fair or not might be debatable, but durability is part of it, because Jaden Williams right now is showing that he's not durable in Washington. And that's problematic.
Well, Jaden Daniels had a horrible injury. I mean, let's not fake it here. Jaden Daniels' injury was catastrophic. As far as McCarthy had never been hurt in his career until he got to the NFL. And honestly, I think they kind of coddled him the first year. I don't know if he necessarily needed to have the knee surgery that he had in the preseason before last year, but I think they knew that they had Darnold, who was a guy who could lead the ship. Now, I was at the Jacksonville Vikings game, and for every Vikings fan that says, "Oh my gosh, you should have signed Darnold," blah, 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 I'm like, that guy folded like a cheap lawn chair in that Jacksonville game. I can understand him folding against Detroit and the Rams, because both of them last year were top 3 teams in the NFC, so I can understand them losing to that. But the game that sold me was the game I went to. I went to the game in Jacksonville. He went through for 241, threw 3 picks, was thrown into triple coverage. Like, he looked bad. We won the game, but he looked like dog.
Hey, Colin, first of all, there's something wrong with your mic. You're cracking when you talk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I am?
Yeah. So Colin, my other question to you is, the week 1 of Minnesota, obviously it's week 1. We still call it preseason and stuff like that, but it still counts in the win column. And you guys came back in the fourth quarter down by 11. So is Grenard out for today? Is that the only difference that you guys have since week 1? So you guys should pretty much win, right?
I mean, we'll
Ryan
see.
Kelly's out.
Ryan Kelly's been out for a while. I mean, I actually think Brando, I mean, that guy had never played center before, and he's actually played halfway decent center. I think part of the Vikings' problem has been their play calling. Like, they'll get to like a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 3, and they refuse to run the ball. They're incredibly predictable. And
How's
they
your
went out and got
secondary?
Jordan Mason to be they went out to get Jordan Mason to be like this running back that can get the tough yards on third and shorts. And they're
How's your
just throwing the ball
secondary?
all the time. So I don't get it.
How's
I think
your secondary?
secondary's okay, but I think part of what makes our secondary good is getting a pass rush, and that's why I said without Grenard, if they can't develop a pass rush, the secondary's going to get tested more.
I think the other difference is, and you might want to just turn your mic off and turn it back on. And I don't know what's up, but it's still cracking. But I think the major difference too, one of Colin on Monday or on the week one is like the first half. It seems like Brian Flores did not call any pressure. It's like they were laying off, and in the second half they came back on. Do you think Flores will just be doing that the whole game, or because that first half of week one was pretty much the Bears until obviously the fourth quarter, and that's when Brian Flores started doing the pressures.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, our run defense is going to be the key, and I think that's what creates the pressures. I think and I think you saw it mainly in the Detroit game. I mean, that was a game I never thought we had a shot at winning, but somehow we managed to hold Gibbs and Montgomery down. And I think our rush defense has been more of predicated on trying to hold down the team. And I think you saw it in the Philly game there. If you got a competent passing attack, you can go to work on that. So
real quick, let me as soon as we talked about it, let me just give it really quick. Here's the injury report for both teams. For the Bears, the only here are the people who are out. TJ Edwards is out. Jalen Johnson is out. The only reason I bring him up is because we activated him into his 21-day IR window.
He's
on
coming
Friday.
back before December.
All right, let me finish, please. We activated his 21-day practice window, so he's listed as out, but no one expected him to play to begin with, as I was going to say. But he did have limited practice Friday, so it's good to see Jalen Johnson working again. We didn't expect him until December, but it's good to know that he's making those steps towards coming out of that 21-day window. And then, of course, Jahadi Walker is still out for the second week in a row with the concussion under the concussion protocol. They're listing Brisker as questionable. I fully expect him to play. For the Vikings, as we've mentioned, Grenard is out. He had limited practice on Wednesday, did not practice at all Thursday or Friday. And Ryan Kelly, their center, is out with concussion protocol with limited practice throughout the week, but still out on the concussion. Everyone else either had limited or full practice and is playing, as being reported right now by the Vikings. So that's the injury report. And, of course, also for the Bears to note is Kyler Gordon is out this week. He is expected to be back next week. This is a 4-week IR. They expect him to come back and to go straight. They won't need to use the whole 21-day window is what we're hearing. Whether that's true or not, we'll have to wait and see. But his window will open up on Monday for his 21-day practice window. So some help coming back for the Bears. But the big one, of course, for today being out is TJ Edwards. We have yet to have really both our linebackers in for multiple games. We're going to Sewell's getting a lot of playing time, and Sewell's been okay.
Well,
but
I when TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon are playing, and we've seen it 2 games in a row, their rush defense, it just seemed like it was where it was non-existent until they got back. That's what worries me today. Minnesota has a great 1-2 punch with Jones and Mason, and then we got to worry about, and they showed it at week 1 with Aaron Jones doing a fly pattern for a touchdown. He's probably one of the best running backs out there that can line up as a wide receiver and burn cornerbacks. That's what worries me and the rush defense.
I like, though, with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, now this is he's had 2 full weeks of practice now. And last week we saw an improvement over the first game. He's kind of, he's showing why he was a good player in the league, getting this new shot with the Bears. And now they're talking when Gordon comes back that those two might split time, which also might mean Gordon might come back sooner because he's not going to play every snap because of Gardner-Johnson. So I'm hoping that Gardner-Johnson, who has 3 sacks already, continues having an impact. And I believe Mike has, speaking of making more impact, Montez Sweat's making more of an impact lately too.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find it for Mike here. It was something here it is. Last 4 games, he's stepped up a lot more. Like, that's all his sacks for the season, actually. So if he can step up, and I think Gardner Johnson being there is a part of that, that bodes well for the Bears defense today.
Well, I believe week 1 of when we played the Vikings, Colin, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Addison did not play, or did he play? I don't remember.
He didn't
Addison was
play.
on
He was on suspension.
So that's a big key as well. And of course, Hawkinson having a slow part of the year, he can get open. We know how big he is. I hate to say it, I think we're going to have our hands full today, guys. I just don't have a good feeling about this.
Absolutely. The Bears are going to have their hands full every week until their defense proves they can 3-and-out people. No, I know we touched on it last week, Ken. It'd be nice to see, like, just give me a handful of 3-and-outs this week, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this whole bend don't break thing. It can work especially when you're getting turnovers, but you rather get some 3-and-outs. Before I forget, guys, let me take a break in our programming here to remind people for the predictions. We'll put the predictions in the comments in a bit. But you can win a signed Devin Hester 8x10, which you can see in the picture there. Go to Mike the Bear Fan or Chicago Bears News. Put your prediction in. If you get it right, exactly right, you can win this. Woody and I have each been off by 1 point this year, as Mike reminds us every time we do this.
Right.
Go to Mike the Bear Fan or Chicago Bears News on Facebook. He's got the post there. Put your game predictions. They won't count here, but you can put them here as well, though. And you can win that autograph photo. All right, sorry, back to what we were talking about. I mean, I think let me bring Dan up. Good morning, Dan. We got Dan on the show today. We got everyone popping by today. Jeez.
Hey, Dan.
Wow, what's up there?
Dan-o. I call him Dan the Bear Fan with the glare. Dan.
Yeah.
What is your aspect of today's game? Like, I know we touched base just before you got on about our defense and the running game. Do you have anything to add on to those two?
No, I agree. I was listening to you guys.
You agree with me again? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the day where he vehemently disagrees with you, Woody.
Nice.
It will happen.
So, Colin, like you said about when I was talking about week 1, and I know stopping the run will bring the pressure. Do you think Flores pressures it right out of the gate, or he just waits to stop the run first?
I mean, I think they're going to probably pressure him right out the gate, because I think one player had a big impact in the second half of the game last game was Javon Hargrave. I think when he started getting that interior pressure on the Bears, I think it flustered Caleb into making some kind of questionable throws. And I don't really think you were using Manangai. Here we go.
No.
Him.
We didn't even have.
No, you did, but you weren't playing him. You weren't playing him. So
we didn't have the rush offense in week 1.
No,
you now.
No, you didn't. So I would say, I think Javon Hargrave interior pressure is going to dictate a lot, especially early in the game. I think it's going to dictate a lot of how this game goes. And I think that if the Vikings go out, and they seem to have a pattern of going and having a really good scripted first drive, I think if the Vikings go down and score a touchdown on the first, if they start out with the ball and they go down and they score right away on the Bears, I think it'll be a track meet, to be honest with you.
So interesting here. Look at the Bears, 3rd in the NFL in team yards and 2nd in team rush yards now through week 10. That average is way up. Here's the thing.
But yet no one wants to give us a chance.
Well, you know why they're not. You know why they're not giving. You know why they're not giving chances, because they're the teams that we're playing. That's why nobody's giving us a chance.
And,
So-
and like I
That's a big
Sorry, but-
and like I said on
Can
like I
Mike,
said on
can
the
I
other
finish what I
show.
was saying, please? Thank you.
Go ahead, man.
Thank you. Here's the difference, Colin, I think, between week 1 and now. The first 4 games before the bye, the Bears lived off the pass game, barely had a rush game. After the bye, they've used the rush game more. Even last week, the running backs were about 100 yards combined. Then you throw in Caleb's scampers. We're starting to see that average go up. And I think Monangai having that massive game a couple weeks ago really opens up the box for Ben, because Monangai is a ram it down the middle, take guys with him kind of guy. Whereas, as we know, Swift is more, you seal the edge, home run hitting speed. So it's kind of Gibbs and Monty Chicago style, right? It's the Bears version of it. And that version has played really well. Even last week, they're like, oh, but we didn't run. We actually ran pretty good last week between our running backs and the quarterback. I think that's going to be a difference maker, because then that allows, where you're not going to be able to stack the box on the Bears passing game as much. So it's been all these little pieces here and there. And a couple of weeks ago, I said, wouldn't it be great if we put the passing game and the run game together? And they kind of did last week, right? They had good, moderate success with both. It'd be nice for the Bears, at least, not for you, but for the Bears, if we can take that to the next level. Like, okay, now let's add more of the tight end passing, not just 2 targets, but 3 or 4 or 5 targets, to go with like 5 targets per receiver plus the run game. And I think they're building that. And remember, guys, Ben Johnson said we'll play our best football in December. He didn't say we're going to play our best football in October or November. So
and let's not forget too, Caleb's done a really nice job this year selecting like when he's going to run. He's been very efficient at running the ball himself, so that definitely adds to the rushing total. But wouldn't it be nice to see Burden get some looks over Zacchaeus this week?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he's going to.
Olamide really disappointed me last week. Olamide Zacchaeus has been a really good fucking addition for us in free agency, but he was really disappointing last week. Last week was probably the crappiest game I've seen him play all year.
Well, that game against Washington when he dropped, he's like I keep telling Ken every week, he'd still be running. He'd probably be to California right now. But yeah, I mean, some of the throws last week, Zacchaeus dropped 2. And I'm like, oh, Caleb threw it outside, threw it 2 towards the sidelines. They showed a replay, and at Dunze as well. I mean, these are very catchable balls.
Those are lasers, dude. Those are lasers.
I think the difference you're seeing, though, the difference, guys, you're seeing, though, even in the game call, because Greg Olson called the game last week, which is a good thing because he's the number 2 broadcasting for Fox, right?
Now Brady.
No, Brady's their number 1. They're their number 1 broadcast team, but starting to see the better broadcasters as far as where the networks are concerned versus Adam Archuleta, who is visibly screaming no, no, no when Colston catches the ball. Like, you're seeing the difference. And Olsen said it right. He said the same thing. These are catchable balls. Some of the stuff we saw where, like, Aikman, he's leaning too far. Well, no, because he didn't think the guy was going to sit in the flat. That's communication issues that get worked out between receivers and quarterbacks over time. But these are all catchable balls. And the nice thing I like about where Caleb puts balls, more times than not, he puts in a position where his guy has a shot, but the defender does not. That's why he's got, 3 interceptions on the year?
4.
Right? 4. And one of them was Max Crosby.
Caleb's only thrown 4.
Yeah, and Max Crosby blocking the 1. I mean, that's like, okay, freak play of Max Crosby. I mean, if you look at pure interceptions, he maybe has 1 or 2. That pure where it was actually his fault.
No, that's the thing that I like the most about Caleb is that he doesn't throw interceptions. People don't realize how fucking huge that is. Throw it out of bounds, yes. Don't take a sack, yes. Don't throw interceptions. And there's too many guys that, it's not a big deal. It's interceptions. Everybody throws them. No, the good quarterbacks do not throw interceptions. No,
Ken, I was saying that Tom Brady's the Fox game, I think, today. I seen him. Right.
Yeah, so I mean, look, if that's good though for the Bears, that means we're finally getting some respect. And actually, it's good for the NFC North because the NFC North gets no respect by the national media, but now they're starting to cover our games, which is good. Colin, real quick with you guys, like I know for the Bears, if we don't get a turnover, we're cooked. How
Mhm.
like we have not won a game where we did not get a turnover. How is Minnesota this year in terms of the turnover win ratio?
I mean, when they win the turnover battle. If they don't, they don't. I mean, we lost the turnover battle last week against Baltimore. I mean, McCarthy was throwing punts. I mean, he was throwing long passes, and I think it goes back. It goes. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you what his net average was on the punts.
I think they were about like 40 to 46 yards in the air. They were calling for the fair catch on a couple of them, but no. I wish again. I mean, this goes back to coaching too, and understanding who you have as your quarterback. I think for you guys, I think the Bears. You guys get a hard time as Bears fans because the Bears are playing a last place schedule. It's not your fault. I mean, you were last place last year. You're only gonna play what you have in front of you. So to be given respect, to be given respect, though, you do have to beat the better teams. So I mean, to get rolled by Detroit, to blow that game, the first game, and I know it was the last preseason game, but to blow a game at home against a guy who's never started an NFL game in the regular season, I mean, those are hard. Those are hard ones for people to kind of look past. So I think the more that you start beating better teams, again, that's going to contribute to progressing. I think with the Vikings, the amount of money that the Vikings spent this year on free agency, I mean, I want to say they spent like $360 million in free agency this year on players. So
you want that too?
Let's be honest about schedules, though, too. The only difference between the Bears schedule and the Vikings schedule is literally two teams, right? Whoever we're going to play in the NFC West and whoever we're going to play in the NFC.
Yeah, we got to play Seattle in 2 weeks.
That's the only
we got to play
difference.
Seattle in 2 weeks.
We got to play San Francisco.
That's the difference. Like when people talk about these schedules within the division, like
I'm
that
happy
is
now.
literally the only difference between our schedule and anyone else in the division is who we play in those two divisions. And like
you're playing the last place team from the West.
Right. I get that, Colin. But like I get that. But there's so much dynamic change in this league from the year to year. That's your only difference. And actually you getting Seattle at home is actually a plus for Minnesota because we're
going to Seattle.
You go to Seattle, that's a plus for you. Because guess what? Guess where Seattle's only losses of the season have come from? Home. They are undefeated on the road. Today, if they lose them in LA, which could be their first possible road loss of the season, they've won 10 straight on the road. So actually playing Seattle at home, Colin, is a plus for you right now, believe it or not. And that the 12th man
full disclosure, I just don't want to play Seattle.
Yeah.
I know we have to, but full disclosure.
I mean, I get it. We got
It's not like we want to play San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know,
San Francisco's a tricky team.
The worst team to play in it.
I can't figure San Francisco out.
I think the last time we beat them wasn't the Justin Fields flood game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. It was.
I mean, and then if you go to the South, I mean, we got the Aints. Okay. But no one in the South is. Look, the only team that has to complain about having to play the NFC South is the Packers because they got stuck. They get stuck playing
Tampa.
The rest of us, though, the South is a win. So I mean, that's the difference.
We lost that Atlanta, though. Yeah.
You know, we all still get Washington. We all still get Philly. We all still get each other. You know, we get the same AFC North. You know, I mean, it's 2-game difference. And the thing is, like, now we're starting to see who the better teams are. Right, and who isn't? And let's face it, the NFC North, even with the Vikings with a losing record, would still be in second place in most divisions. And even in this division, you're actually in the playoff hunt.
We're the only 2-0 team in the division, and we're the only 2-0 undefeated team in division play. So,
well, that'll change today, hopefully. For me,
we'll see.
Well, Ken, I am happy because Aaron Andrews is calling the Bears.
God, is she hot
on the sideline.
God, is she hot?
Were you now, Woody? Were you one of those people that weren't again trying to scoop in and trying to look in the peephole of her hotel room today? Come on now, is that you, Woody?
Dude, I didn't have to look. She invited me in.
I would.
Oh, she invited you in. Oh,
I would.
Yeah, me and Collins were.
I'm more of a Mina Kimes kind of guy, but hey, you know, all to each their own. So that's all.
Colin, you know me. I'm shy.
You can't go wrong with a lot of these sideline reporters, dude.
You really can't. Another thing to bring up real quick is this guy right here.
Not a sack.
Theo Bennett, since he came in, look at
Dud.
the change in the defense with him, or in the offensive
In the
line.
offense. In the offense.
The offensive line with him over Braxton Jones. And Braxton Jones played decent ball,
it's
but
night and
it's
day.
the biggest difference I've noticed. The second we put him in the game, or brought him into the game, the run game got much better. Like Braxton did okay for pass protection, but he was shit for run. But Theo was good at both.
Yeah, literally.
And don't get Broski started on Braxton. That's Broski's boy.
Trust me, I know.
Believe me, me and Ken have had the Braxton discussion a few
We
times.
talked ad nauseum about it.
Well, Ken, on the flip side of that too, I'm the Joe Tooney. Again, no pressures, no sack given up, and everybody was thinking, oh, he was good with Mahomes. Well, that's pretty good stats on a supposedly last place team from last year.
Dude.
No sacks, no pressures. Great run blocker.
Look, can we talk about the best thing of all of this with the linemen?
You should
How
go ahead.
often do you see an offensive lineman being on reels on stat reels, highlight reels, but Darnell Wright is straight schooling some of the best rushers in the NFL, sitting them on their asses.
Yeah.
Darnell Wright is blocking 2 or 3 players on a single play at times.
Well, I was gonna give Darnell Wright a call and say, hey, how does Brian Burns look up in the air when you threw him? He didn't answer me back, of course. So.
And I was going to say too, like
Wright.
the guy you don't hear about is Jonah Jackson. So after like the first 2 or 3 weeks of him getting like 3 penalties each game, he's putting together a nice season, man. Like, you know, him and Dahlman and Tooney in the middle, man. Those guys have been excellent. Darnell Wright's been excellent. Big improvement from last year.
I want Braxton Jones back. I want Braxton Jones back in there.
Look at who Tooney. Look at who Tooney's played for in his career. He blocked for Brady. He blocked for Mahomes. And now he's blocking for Caleb. And he doesn't.
Let's not go there.
When he's playing his natural position, he's the best at it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, compared to where this offensive line was last year, it's obviously night and day, and all the numbers support it. It's just, look at Colin, like, you know, with Gennard being out, where's the pass rush coming from for you guys today against that? That's where I think this game, obviously the games are always won in the trenches. I think both teams have issues in the trenches defensively.
Game both pills.
I would keep an eye. If I were the Bears, the guy who I would look to try to neutralize is Jalen Redmond, the defensive tackle. That guy has, I think, 5.5 sacks for the interior. That would be a guy I would probably focus a little bit of my attention on.
I don't know. I'm worried about Hargrave, man. I'm just playing.
Well, I'm just saying Hargrave is like the predominant one. I would just say that without Grenard being there, Redmond would be a one that, like, if you're going to try and stop Hargrave, the other guy I would try and stop is Redmond. And I'd also keep an eye on Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel is a very crafty, very smart player. Like, he knows when to blitz, and he knows when to drop back into coverage.
Well, Ken and I were talking about this last week, like with Max Crosby. If you can't get to the quarterback, you put your hands up. It looks like Van Ginkel, when he puts his hands up, sometimes he gets interceptions.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he had two pick sixes last year. Look, don't try and do like a little screen pass to the outside.
Oh, please.
Because Van Ginkel could take that. I think he almost had one against the Bears last year where he snuck in there and nearly picked one off.
You know, Edmonds isn't bad, getting interceptions neither. I think he has like 4 on the year, and I believe that's a number 1 in football.
Well, for his position, not overall. I think.
No, I think he's up there.
I'm pretty sure it's overall, dude.
Because I remember I say there's 3 players on the Bears that are top 10 in interceptions.
It's first or second, though. That's the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I thought I had that. I guess I don't. Is this it here? Well, nope. That's Caleb passing. I don't have that.
Well, here's some fantasy update news. Brock Purdy will be starting today. Championship.
Yeah, here we go. Kevin Byard and Tremaine Edmonds are in a three-way tie for the league lead in INTs with 4. The third is Devin Lloyd of Jacksonville.
There we go.
Broski, what do you think of that? Tremaine Edmonds leading the league or tied for first? My boy
He's got
from
to do
BT,
something. Like
motherfucker.
he doesn't do much else but that. So hey, hats off to him. I wish he'd learn how to blitz at some point in his career. I'd wish he'd learn how to blitz at some point in his career. But hey, overall, 4 INTs for a middle linebacker. That's freaky. Byard having another stud season. So good for those guys.
And that's another thing.
Can make plays.
And that's another thing me and Ken were talking about too. In the beginning of the season, we had no safeties under contract next year. We have a feeling that all of them are going to get signed for next year, re-signed. Yep.
I would be amazed if we didn't. For all the garbage that we heard about C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't re-sign.
Now, to be fair today, gentlemen, Tremaine Edmonds will not get an interception. And I'll tell you why. Because he is not a punt returner for the Bears. So that is what McCarthy does. He throws punts. He's got. And honestly, I don't mind it because our punter really doesn't do very well. So if you can punt an interception, that's fine. But Edmonds has got to get way better coverage in the back.
You're fine if Kevin Byard has 3 INTs because they're all 50 yards down the field.
Colin,
that's where most of it's going to happen. So yeah,
but I know Tremaine Edmonds might probably, like you said, won't have an interception this year. But how did Vikings beat us, and how did Giants almost beat us last week? Did you guys watch the game last week, non-Bear fans? Jackson Dart, their quarterbacks, McCarthy on that long touchdown run.
Yeah,
I think McCarthy's going to have a big day rushing today.
It could happen. If the question is if they let him run. Half of it's just if they let him run.
I think the Bears learned from last week, and they put a spy on J.J. McCarthy.
Well, I think Colin makes a good point. So, Colin, if he would say runs at all, what's KOC? I mean, he's got to be KOC. I would assume is going to give him the look of death if he runs at all.
Yeah, I don't mind him running. Here's the problem with him running is that he has had injury issues. He just needs to learn how to slide. It's almost the same thing as Jackson Dart. I think Dable got fired because Dart kept running, but he wasn't sliding. He was making big plays, but he wasn't sliding, so it was getting him hit. Well, now McCarthy needs to do the same thing.
I think that, and I know Giants had a rough year on top of that. He was on the hot seat. But I told Ken this too on Wednesday's show, is that because if they would have went for it 4th and goal at the 1 and scored, they would have been up by 14. They just kicked the field goal, and that's what made them up by 10. I think that was the beginning of the end right there.
I think rushing him out there after the concussion too, that's the big thing.
We're going to get into that in a second there, Clark. Real quick, because we got about 18 minutes before kickoff, but I want to get into predictions. But before we do the Bears-Vikings game, there's another game I want us to predict real quick because Bears fans, we've just played them last week. Green Bay is going to play the Giants. They're going to get, Crab Legs is getting a start today. Jameis Winston's getting a start. Real quick, let's take a second and talk about that game before we get to the Bears predictions. What do you guys think happens in this Packers Giants game?
I think the big things to consider here are the fact Kraft is out. He's the Packers, main receiving threat. He's been out a couple weeks now, and their center. They're going to be starting this backup center. On top of the fact their O-line, the rest of their O-line hasn't played that great. They only scored 20 points at home last 2 weeks combined. So the Giants D-line, after seeing them play an entire game last week, they're for real, man. They're going to get after it. They're going to create a lot of problems for that Packers O-line. They are. And
believe it or not, this is what about Jordan Love, broski, too. Do you think he's more fucking mobile than Caleb? I think Caleb.
He's not more mobile than Caleb, but he's mobile, but he's not Caleb mobile. But this being Mike Kafka's first start as a head coach, players are going to get up on the Giants. They're at home, here comes Jameis Winston. He's gonna chuck it. He's throwing the ball. The guy's got a live arm. So. I
think
got,
the
I
third
got
job could
Giants.
be
I got Giants winning in an upset. This one, 24-17.
Real quick before we get to Colin, first-time head coaches who get hired during the season like this win
Always
80%
win.
of the time. Go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, I think I was saying this on I was saying this on the show before. I was saying on the show before I said that LaFleur's job could be in some serious jeopardy if they lose this game to the Giants this week. But I still think that the Packers are probably going to take it. I'm going to say 34-24 Packers, but I'm only saying it because Jameis Winston, historically in his career, he's like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, he could go for 330 and 4 or 5 touchdowns, or he could go for 212 and throw 4 picks. So you never know what you're going to get from him. I do think that, I think the Giants offense, I think the team is going to be fired up, but just the amount of skill position players that are very important for the Giants that are out. I mean, now Slayton's out too. Like, I don't know who, I mean, it's going to be an element of surprise as to who the Giants are going to try out there. Theo Johnson is a beast. I think the Giants are going to be a problem in a year or two, because I think they've got a really good D line. If they can ratchet up the offensive line and keep Dart from himself when it comes to putting himself in positions to get hurt. I mean, you got a lineup of Dart, Theo Johnson, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbo. That is a problem. That's going to be a problem in the NFL.
We still got 2 games to do before we still got another game to do before we get to the Bears. So real quick, moving on. Dan, what do you think about Packers Giants quickly?
I think the Packers are probably going to beat them. I don't know, score-wise, probably going to beat them. I think I don't know if he is or not, but I heard their kicker was doubtful, so that backup kicker is supposed to be back today.
Good point, Dan.
White, how about you? What are you thinking for this Packers Giants game?
You talking to me?
I talked about it on another show. I don't see the Packers losing, but I don't see them winning big. I think 23-18. I don't see him winning big. I don't see him winning big for whatever reason. And it's not their defense or anything. That they got Micah Parsons. They've gotten better defensively, dude. They're finding ways. What the Bears are doing this year as a team, they're finding ways to win. What the Packers are doing as a team this year is finding ways to lose.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to make this Giants game interesting. Of course, they're on at the same time as the Bears. One other game in the division, super quickly, so we have enough time to talk about our game. You've got the Lions tonight on Sunday Night Football against the Eagles. Is anyone? I mean, I don't know. Is anyone? Where do you at, White? You're already shaking your head.
Man, the Eagles are going to crush.
Oh, here we go,
dude. The Eagles are going to absolutely crush Lions. The Lions secondary has sucked forever. They always.
What do you think,
suck.
Colin? All right, we gotta move it quick because we gotta still cover our game. What do you think, Colin?
I got 34-17 Eagles.
Oh my god.
What do you think, Dan?
Eagles.
Oh my god.
Broski?
Going Eagles 28, Lions 20.
Oh, go fuck yourselves.
Woody?
The Lions are going to win 32-8.
Oh, Jesus.
42-7 Philadelphia.
Here's my problem. I'm gonna take the Eagles because every time I think the Lions are going to be the team in the division and take the mantle, they find a way to shoot themselves in the wee-wee. That's just been their operatus mirandi. Every time you think they're good, they come up and they just blow chunks. But I want to save the most time. I mean, look, if things work well today, someone in this division, be it the Bears or the Vikings, should gain a game on everyone else in the division. I'm hoping. So I'm hoping the Green Bay loses. I'm hoping that the Lions lose. But let's get into the big game, and we'll start with Colin. You're the visitor. What do you see for today's score for the Bears-Vikings game?
I've got the Vikings 24-21. I think Javon Hargrave plays a role. I think the Vikings offense I think they may actually start running the ball a little bit more. And I think the thing about it is that when I watch you guys play Cincinnati, when I watch you guys play the Raiders, you won those games, but it just you just have a knack of letting teams hang around. So I think with it being in Minnesota, I think they put a emphasis on winning against division opponents, hence the 2-0 record. So I'm gonna say 24-21 Vikings.
What do you say, White?
I've said this on. I've said this probably since the beginning of the week. 27-24 Chicago. I just something tells me that we're gonna pull it.
Dan?
2017 Bears.
2017.
Bears.
All right, now we go to the big three up top. Broski Bear, your prediction, sir.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Bears offense is able to establish the run, and the Bears defense is able to force a couple turnovers, and the Bears win a close one. I do like David's score, 27-24.
Woody?
Well, this I said at the beginning of the show. This game scares the shit out of me. It's in Minnesota. I don't know. I want that Hester, so I'm going to be the asshole of the group, and I'm going to say 26-23 Minnesota.
Ooh, he wants the Hester too, but he's not going to win the Hester because I'm taking the Bears as well. As the other guy who's only been off by a point. I think it's going to be a close game. The Bears have only had one game this season where they failed to score 21 points. So if you have the Bears scoring less than 20 points, you're already wrong because this defense they're playing today is not the healthy Baltimore defense that we saw a couple weeks ago. This game could be a shootout the way these two defenses are playing. I think, though, the Bears have a distinct advantage in the offensive line play, whereas J.J. McCarthy's going to have to do a lot more than Caleb's going to have to do in terms of because he's going to get more pressured. I'm going to take the Bears in this one. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I think the Bears give them a little revenge. We've been figuring out the red zone. We were like terrible in the red zone, 30%. Over the last 2 weeks, though, we've been phenomenal in the red zone. Last week, we didn't see trick plays. Today, we are going to see trick plays. I think the Bears are going to win this one 32-24 is where I'm going to go. It's not going to be I don't think we're going to be doing like the last second heroic thing. I think the Bears will have a little bit of more control on this game. They need to. And if they don't, then we're going to keep having these questions week in, week out. The Bears need to make a statement. They need to kind of even up the score with the Vikings. The fact that it's in Minnesota to me means nothing.
Nope.
Home field and division game really means nothing to me.
So, Ken, do you see Tyler Warren throwing one of those touchdowns on a trick play to Chase Claypool? Do you see that happening?
Here we go.
There we go. Well, Mapletron is back in the CFL, I think. But you know what? I mean, you have to admit, like, my favorite play of the year, though, it's funny that you bring that up, Colin, because my favorite play of the year is a trick play right now. It wasn't a touchdown. It was Caleb with a backwards pass to Bagent.
Michael Strahan picks the Bears to
20
win.
yards to Caleb. That was just
Michael Strahan picking him? Oh, no.
Michael Strahan picked us to win.
Well, that's the kiss of death.
The cool thing about that play, though, because the Bears have won it once, have already run it. So now if you're like Minnesota, you're like, oh, he's throwing it backwards to Bagent, cover up on Caleb. It's a trick play to Caleb. Bagent's a good quarterback. So now if you go to Caleb, now he's going to hit DJ or he's going to hit Rome or he's going to hit Burden. So that's what I love about these Ben Johnson trick plays. It's like he can run that trick play 5 different ways on you. And it's like, so I think we'll see some of that. And that's going to be one way they're going to work on because you've got a phenomenal defensive coordinator. And that's one way you're going to have to keep that defensive coordinator you guys have on your toes. And luckily, Ben Johnson, with all the years of being in Detroit, knows how to do that. And that's another X factor for this game. So I expect to see some good trick plays out of the Bears today. I think that'll be a big difference maker.
I think if you guys win, Kyle Monogany has a big game if you guys win. So I'm just going to call that.
I'm still a Bears fan. I want that fucking Devin Hester.
Oh my goodness, Broski, what are you thinking? You thinking some trick plays today?
So wait, if it's 27-24,
thinking-
who gets the Huster?
They'll mix a couple trick plays in for sure. One thing I do have to point out though is I do think this game is more of a big deal for Minnesota. I think their backs are up against the wall this week, so they're going to come out swinging. They're going to come out amped up. So I think it's going to be important for the Bears to kind of weather the early storm and get through that, and then hit their groove and go from there.
Yeah, White, to answer your question, you have to ask Mike the Bear fan. It's usually whoever posts it first on the Facebook page gets it. If two people have it.
Now, if I predict the right score, do I get a Devin Hester?
Yeah, you would get the Devin Hester.
And then Colin, I'll buy it off of you, bud.
You'll buy it off me? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, man.
We'll discuss that transaction later. Okay.
There you go.
So don't forget, go to Mike the Bear fan on Facebook or the Chicago Bears News on Facebook. The threads are there. Post your comment with your game winner. We got about 4 minutes until game time here. I love War Week, man. I mean, and every week's almost a War Week for both our teams. The schedule does not do anyone any favors in this division. Tough schedules all the way around. Lots of division football to be played.
I did want to point this out to you. In St. Paul, if you go as a Bears fan to the Twin Cities for a game, there's a bar in St. Paul called Allery's. It is a Chicago Bears bar. So if for some reason you go and you need a place to huddle up, not that Minnesota people aren't nice, but if you need a place to course and have old styles and Vienna beef dogs, you can go ahead and go over to Allery's over in St. Paul.
Did I do that right in Minnesota? You betcha.
Wow.
Yeah,
you betcha, Darren.
That was bad. Stop.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm in Florida now.
Colin, you know what Ken has to do? Colin. You know what Ken has to do? He's got to do the Duval. That's it.
I used to live in Duval.
I was going to say, I don't
live in Duval anymore.
Wow.
I always imagine the Minnesota accent to be something between like a "don't you know" and an A, like a Canada.
Well, sure you know. Oh yeah, sure. Don't you know you betcha? Oh yeah, you want some popcorn?
Colin, next time you got to fix your microphone, eh?
Yeah, there, eh?
I don't know what's going on with my micro. I can't even hear it.
It's probably your connection.
Let it go.
It's probably the connection when you plug it in. Just get the air to scan.
Yeah, it's gonna fix, eh?
Yeah, we do have Tom Brady calling the Bears Vikings game as I see him there now. Guys, don't forget tomorrow, Ken and Ken in the morning at 10 a.m. We'll be recapping all the division melee that's going to be happening today. Also, Woody and I will be back Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 on the East, to recap this game. Every Sunday we do the pregame. Like to thank the White for joining us. Like to thank Colin, who's doing his skull clap from an undisclosed location in Florida. Where you,
oh my God, he's not wearing deodorant, fucker.
Wait, where you at? Hey, Colin, where are you?
I'm in Haines City, Florida.
Okay, so I'm near Pensacola. So yep.
Okay.
So
you're on the
game down here.
Okay, sure.
Yep, we're going to enjoy the game down here in the Florida sun. The rest of you guys, hope you enjoy the game at home. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget you can catch us on the YouTubes, the Facebook, the Ken the Bear Fan X account, and now on Rumble as well. Please make sure you give us likes, shares, and follows. Hit those notification buttons. Helps us, and then we all get to hang out and talk. Enjoy the game, everyone. Should be a barn burner in the NFC North. Oh my God, Colin, you're scaring me. Everyone have a great day. Bear down.
Bear down.
Go.